Hey everyone, it's Coolkid here, and I know I'm a little late with this, but still, back for another One Piece chapter review. Chapter 1074. And honestly, this chapter is another one of those chapters where something big gets revealed at the end of the chapter, and everyone's talking about it and everything. And honestly, now I think about it, that's kind of like what happened at the end of the last chapter. I wonder if that's a coincidence or not. But, yeah, just to remind you, this chapter review will contain spoilers. So, please, read the chapter before getting on with the video. I mean, it's up to your discretion. It's up to you. Hell, you could be an anime-only watcher and watch this video, and I have to say, why the hell are you watching this video if you're an anime-only watcher? But, I just want to give you a quick warning before anything. I don't really care about spoilers, but I'm not the kind of guy who's like, okay, why walk blindly into a minefield? I'm going to give you a warning about the minefield, and then it's up to your choice if you want to walk into it. But yeah, anything else I want to say? Oh yeah, I got some new glasses. Comment down below if you I don't know if you like my old glasses better or my new ones. I mean, honestly, probably most people skip this section of the video since I got the time codes and everything, and no one cares about the intro. And I mean, those who do, thank you for watching this intro section. I much appreciated, but for those who don't, I don't really care. It's up to viewers' discretion, okay? They can do what they want. It's up to their discretion and everything. And, I think it's time to get started with the chapter review. But, of course, as always, we must get started with the cover page, with continuing on with the Germa 66 cover page story with Germa 66's an Emotionless Excursion, Volume 30. 3 bitter rivals in a perpetual war to be number 2. So yeah, in this cover page we got Caesar, Queen, and Judge all fighting to be the number 2 scientist. Which honestly, I just gotta find it funny that none of them are fighting to be the number 1. I mean, all of them are like, look, okay, without a shadow of doubt, Vegapunk is the best, the top scientist around. There's just no arguing about it. You can't even argue about it. We're not even in the same rank as him. But to be number 2, oh yeah, that's something that we can all argue and fight about and everything. And honestly, just looking at this cover page, it's kind of why that Mads kind of failed. I mean, these guys, these 3 guys, they didn't really work together. Also, probably the fact that, Vegapunk was really the only one of the group who actually, was for science, for peace and everything. Yeah, honestly, thinking about it, I can see in the next couple of chapters for this cover page series to be seeing Vegapunk being like, okay, I choose my number 2 to be, Caesar. Yeah, Caesar. You're totally a trustworthy person. Oh, yes, totally trust me. I'm very trustworthy. I won't totally blow up one of your labs on accident or on purpose. I don't remember which one he did, but I won't totally do those things. Yeah, man, I wonder the hell that made Vegapunk choose Caesar. Or, well, maybe Caesar was just the last one left. Okay, that's a very interesting way to think about it. Huh. But yeah, anything else I gotta say about this cover page? Oh yeah, I mean, something I did kind of notice in this is one, Caesar has his devil fruit now, so I guess that's cool. And 2, Queen, I've noticed through this cover page, or well, not just now, but when I first read this cover page, Queen has been getting, slowly fatter and fatter and fatter throughout this cover page series, or well, I guess he would say more funkier and funkier and funkier, or something like that. So I guess that's kind of an interesting point to say. And I guess just to end this before moving on to the actual chapter itself, I'll just say, honestly, when this cover page series first started, I was kind of unsure where it was going to go and everything, but, honestly, I've just, enjoyed it. Especially this second half, which has just basically come the Mads flashback. Honestly, I'm kind of surprised that Oda just didn't make this its own separate cover page series, but hey, I don't know if that means Oda, after we're done with this Mads flashback, is going to keep going on with the German Double Six's story with both Chudge and Caesar now working together, I guess, or whatever. But I've just been generally enjoying this cover page series, and I think this is an excellent one they're going off with, especially when you think about this could be one of the last ones. Like, honestly, after this, I could see one or two more cover page stories left, honestly. So, for this being one of the last ones, I think it has been doing well so far. But, it's time to get onto the actual chapter itself, where we start at the Fabrio phase of Egghead Island, which I'm pretty sure I just mispronounced. So the ground level floor of Egghead Island, where we just got a bunch of random CPHs being like, wait a minute, aren't you supposed to be with the Navy? Government weapons shouldn't be interfering with our work. And one of the CP agents just, shoots a rocket at this new Pastifista design. Ooh. And unfortunately, the Pastifista creates this kind of like bubble shield which blocks the rocket attack, and the CP agent's like, what are those weapons? That's the bubble shield, Vegapunk's invention, the ultimate protection. So that's the far superior redesign of those prototypes that were deployed at the Paramount War. That's the Pastifista Mark III. And then we get like this cool big shot of the Pastifista Mark III Naval Science Team Battle Weapon. Which, if I had to say myself, I actually don't mind this design of this new Pastifista. Honestly, he kind of reminds me of that police officer Pastifista that we saw like at the beginning of this arc and everything. Honestly, maybe it's just the shade that's reminding that, because I definitely do like that shade. And also, I guess the jacket's pretty cool and everything. This Pastifista Mark III, that's a pretty cool design. Also, I should mention, it's the title of the chapter. Wow, that's pretty cool and everything. But continuing on, the Pastifista Mark III's like, cease resistance and proceed to the factory building B. And the CP agent's like, come on guys, just lay down all your weapons or we're freaking dead. But who the hell is giving orders? Pacifistas can't act on their own. And he's like, I'm taking you in. And then we go into some random factory on the ground level floor where we got Sentomaru is still alive, yes. I mean, honestly, that didn't really surprise me. This is Oda, I remind you, so, it doesn't really kill characters often. So, yeah, I guess that makes sense and everything. And honestly, the one thing that did surprise me is I didn't really hear no fuss about Sentomaru, not being dead. Because usually when a character gets like a fake out death and then we see him, everyone's like, oh my god, I can't believe that X character is still alive. Usually there's some kind of fuss, but actually I haven't heard anything about Sentomaru. So, it's very, very interesting. But, continuing on, we got Sentomaru being like, a hell of a vacation days. How the Pacifista's doing? Sounds like something's going up on there. But the Frontier Dome is closed, and I can't get in contact with Punk. And then he thinks back to what Luffy said, like, don't you worry, I'll take him off of this island. And then we got like this, transponder snail doing zzz, zzz. And Sentomaru's like, man, that keeps me worried. It looks like the navies keep looping its communication from preventing me from getting any updates. well, I guess the Marines see me as a rebel now, then I might as well act like one. Which, just stop here before continuing on. I do want to keep a point out where, in the unofficial release, I believe Santa said, the Navy keeps contacting me. They must not know I must have betrayed them, but instead for them, the Marines jamming Centomaro's network from getting any contacts. I think that's a very interesting choice. I mean, I don't know which is more right or everything, but yeah, sometimes wait for the official release. Or read the official release. Always read the official release. Always. Or something. I don't know. Continuing on. Centomaro's like, Pacifistas Mark III, deploy all 50 of you. So he literally just deploys every single one of the Pacifistas I guess he has on the island, and he's like, Straw Hat Luffy's going to take Dr. Vegapunk away on his ship. Your duty is to see them off safely and everything. I'm just literally all the pacifistas start marching down the streets, throwing away CP agents, locking them in just some random ass factory and everything. But yeah, man, they're here to protect the island, with Sentomaro saying, make sure your creator gets off of this island alive. Oh my god, dude, this is so goddamn cool with these new pacifistas. Which, the question is, do you think any of the Mark IIIs, will be able to take out more stronger opponents like, I don't know, Lucci, or literally Kizaru is coming, which you can't forget about that, but, I'll talk about that more later on, but probably, if I had to guess, Kizaru could quite easily take care of these new pacifistas and everything. But, yeah, continuing on, we go back up to the Labophase where, we got Luffy being like, man, what do you mean she's gone? She has to be somewhere in this lab. Damn, I ran over this entire place. And Chopper's like, well, yeah, even your hover boots broke and everything. You have been running this entire time. He's like, man, don't rat me out. Don't have to have any allowance to pay for it. But man, where the hell did that old man Apple go anyway? And Bonnie, too. And then we got Shaka being like, oh, Bonnie? Bonnie's around. He's like, wait a minute, what? Oh, yeah, you could see them on the monitor this entire time. She's been here the whole time. He's like, wait a minute, you didn't mention that? Oh, my God, oh, my God, oh, my God. But, yeah, after that, the next thing we get, which is... oh boy, I freaking love this panel. We got our final new members, or not new members, but the rest of our current alliance finally gain their future Egghead Island outfits, with one, Zoro, looking so goddamn cool, especially with that jacket. Oh my god, it looks so much cool, especially better than Sanji's outfit. Brooks is alright. I kind of like his, I guess, retro future space helmet thing he's got on. Looks kind of cool. And Stutzy's alright. It's honestly just more of a, more I look at it, it's basically just if you took Nami's and Robin's Egghead Island outfits and just kind of, fuse them together. So... yeah, I guess that's cool enough, I guess, with the outfit they got all on here. They look pretty cool generally, except Zoro. He looks freaking fantastic, but, yeah, continuing on with the chapter, Brooks like, man, this place is quite remarkable, like, the future. Zoro's like, so aren't we supposed to be setting sail soon? And then it's just like, well, I want to see what happened to the main Stella. What happened to him? And Shaka's like, well, we're suffering two animosities at the moment. Brace yourselves. One, the disappearance of the main Stella body. And the other is the loss of control over the Frontier Dome. Which, actually, before going on, I do want to mention this panel right here where, one, it's just showing off Oda's ability to draw multiple characters in just one panel with basically all of our current alliance just, I don't know, relaxing, having fun, and, preparing for the, well, upcoming work they have to do, which, and then one thing I do have to, well, I guess two things I have to mention is, one, Alice actually, looks fully repaired in this, in this section right here. So, yeah, finally she's back up and running. And York is freaking huge. Like, in the panel, she looks taller than even freaking Brooke. Like, I want to say twice as tall as Brooke, but maybe like 1.5 times as tall as Brooke. Man, York is freaking big. But, I mean, this is the One Piece world, so, And, I mean, Brooke himself's already pretty tall. Like, God, I do not remember his height off the top of my head, but I do remember he's pretty tall. But, yeah. And continuing on, we got, everyone reacting to this like, wait a minute, what do you mean? And Shaka's like, I mean that we're no able longer to leave the Labophase. No, everyone's like, wait a minute. Excuse me? Yeah, I can assume that if we try to leave out, we get fried by the lasers. And everyone's like, oh man, how the heck are we supposed to be taking Vegapunk off this island anyway? And Shaka's like, well, that's true. The man himself is currently missing. So what you can do is help find the main Stella body. Meanwhile, I'll try to repair the dome somehow and get control over it again. And even Frankie's like, wait a minute, yeah, but what's even the point of looking for Vegapunk if you can't even find him on your all-seeing monitors? And Shaka's like, well, normally I would have the view of the entire lab, but unfortunately, due to the damage the Seraphim caused earlier, the camp snails either left their stations or are just unconscious, possibly dead from some of those attacks, because I'm gonna be realistic, but yeah, continuing on. Therefore, I have the other satellites and workers inspecting around the lab as he could fall unconscious outside of the camp snail's view. And then we got a radio from a Pythagoras being like, Shaka, this is Pythagoras. There is no one the third floor of building sees, I guess. Okay, you should go and check. And then it cuts to Nami, who's being like, well, come on, let's join the hunt right now, everyone. If we want to set sail, we need to find him in my treasure. So Nami's just being Nami, with Brooke being like, well, I guess I'll accompany you too. And also Stutzi, going on the search for Vegapunk as well, like, well, I guess I'll look for him. I am quite concerned as well. And of course, Sanji's being Sanji, being like, oh, let me come tag along, Madam Stutzi. And then we got, oh my god, my favorite scenes of just about to come up with Zoro being like, I guess I'll search for the old man as well. You said he was an old man with his head chopped into two, you said, right? And he's like, whoa, wait a minute, Ma. I said, wait a minute. Are you searching for someone else? And then literally the entire Straw Hats are like, yeah, no, you don't need to go look for someone else. You just need to stay here and don't move. And even freaking Robin's like, just be a good boy and just stay still, why don't you? Oh my god, I just freaking love all the Straw Hats at this point. Like, you know what, Zoro, just, you don't even need to look for anyone. You just need to stay here and stay still. So yeah, just Zoro and Luffy just literally get left behind to, I don't know, I guess Wanchan, Lucci, and Kaku, who are currently knocked out right now. And Zoro's like, damn, man, I don't even know what they're talking about, but I guess they can handle a little manhunt from now. Oh, jeez, Luffy. How long were you running at max effort? He's like, I'm always at max effort. But, yeah, I can't believe you ran into these guys. Man, I haven't thought about these guys since, Water 7, man. I hope that Ice Guy is doing well. And then, well, okay, I'll just interject here just to say, I can totally tell whenever the anime adapts this section, they're literally going to be like, man, I haven't thought about Water 7 in a long time. And then it like cuts to do the anime cuts to do like a Water 7 recap, or like for like half an episode, or maybe even almost the whole episode, because you know how the anime is and everything like that. Oh my god, I just can totally see that. Actually, another thing I do want to mention is with Lucci and Kaku on like the last. Well, not the last couple of pages, or the last couple of panels of this moment here. They kind of look like, I don't know. I just get the feeling that they're pretending to be knocked out and everything, because they're like, shit, Zoro and freaking Luffy are still here. Well, let's just keep pretending until we find an opportunity moment to get the hell out of here or something. I don't know. I just get that feeling like that, but. Yeah, after that, we go back to the pod room where Bonnie finally goes into that memory bubble pod thing or whatever. Where Bonnie, we see her in like this, I guess, giant open field with, young Kuma, who actually kind of does look exactly like how he did in the that one SBS where Oda drew all of the warlords. But yeah, young Kuma is just literally just sitting there crying. Bonnie's like, hey, what's the matter, kid? Wait a minute, Dad? And then these two mysterious silhouetted people find him and are like, I found him! Now you get back here right now. If you escape, they'll kill every single last one of us. And we got young Kuma being like, I don't wanna go back. Please don't send me back to that horrible place. Oh, crying isn't going to help you solve anything, you enormous brat. Come on, go back there. And meanwhile, we got Bonnie, who tries to come closer, and she's like, wait a minute. Why can't I even go close at all? And young Kuma is like, just kill me then. Just kill me here instead. Why do you bother going back? I'm just going to die here anyway. And meanwhile, I guess the mysterious silhouette people pull out bats or whatever and start just beating Kuma, down senselessly and everything. It's like, ouch, I'm sorry. Please, someone else. I'm sorry. Just stop it. It really hurts. And then we see some silhouettes of some celestial dragons in a shot of a certain castle, maybe a Pangea castle, and he's like, just someone help me. And Molly's like, come on, just please stop it. And then she suddenly gets ejected out of the memory bubble and everything. And then we get like a quick shot of Kuma still climbing up the red line. For some reason. And they're like, shoot him down. And then we go back to Bonnie, who's like, this isn't something I can bear unless I'm truly ready for it. But I won't know the truth unless if I face it. So please, Dad, with the final shot of her reaching back in for the memory bubble. And that ends that scene there. And oh God, we're so close to the end of the chapter. But I definitely have a lot to talk about here, but I'll get to that when we get to that. But yeah, continuing on, we go to Pythagoras, who's just walking around the lab like, man, it's such irony they made such a mess, considering that the Seraphim were originally created here. Stella, where are you? And then we hear a noise of whatever. We hear a goddamn noise, and he's like, and then giant explosion happens, and that's all we see of that here, which I know we're about to get to it. We're literally just 2 pages away from the chapter ending, so I'll get to that soon. But yeah, then we go to Big News Morgan's, I guess flying ship thing or whatever it's supposed to be. But yeah, we go back to his home base. He's like, aha, look at this incredible scoop that's landed in my feather lab. Such big news. The world government is currently undertaking an assassination of the great Dr. Vegapunk. They're going to kill the world's greatest mind. This is just the O'Hara incident all over again. But unfortunately, the government picked the wrong fight this time, since Vegapunk is such a beloved individual, a man whose energy developed light that's been brought into every town. So, okay guys, front page here. Straw Hat Luffy, Emperor of the Sea, wages an all-against war with the Navy at Egghead Island, holding Vegapunk hostage. The government should be very gracious to our story, and I'll need you to collect the gratitude in liquid cash. And then we got, some I guess reporters or whatever in the background being like, yes sir. And then a mysterious voice is, what a preposterous excuse for a story. And then we find out who that is with Vivi with Big News Morgan. Which, okay, I'll talk about that when I get to that. But yeah, we got Vivi who's like, Luffy would never do such a thing. This is why I hate the World Economic Journal. Which, before we continue this, I do like how, literally, I guess one of the reporters in the background being like, oh my god, she's wearing my clothes. Oh, I never will wash them ever again. And then also we got Wapple, who is for some reason there also, and he's like, hey, keep your voice down. What if they're being wiretapped by the world government or something here? Come on. They're going to whack us. And don't talk badly to Morty. He's hiding us in the first place. And the Big News Morgan is like, blah, you ball your eyes out. Yes, you did. You little girl. Don't tell me how to do my job. This is the news of the world. And I'm its mover, its shaker. It's not about fact or fiction. It's about what sells. News is the biggest entertainment of them all. And thus, the chapter ends. So, yeah, it's time to get into the discussion portion. Ooh, actually, I should probably mention, since this one with the... When I'm releasing this video, fortunately the next chapter has already released, so I'm not going to speculate what's next chapter or anything. I'm just going to do my general speculations, and especially the speculations I have when right around when this chapter came out. So yeah, I guess I'll start at the beginning, because that's what I usually do and everything. Let's just move my cursor all the way back here with the new Pacifistas Mark III, which is, of course, the title of the chapter itself, which, one, I already discussed how cool looking they're in and everything, and with one, their new ability, the Bubble Shield, which, I probably guess it's not an ability Kuma could do, or well, maybe Kuma could create, a Bubble Shield, but not specifically this one, because one, it doesn't have the paw patterns that usually Kuma's abilities do have. But not just that, it is mentioned by one of the CP agents that it's the Bubble Shield, Vegapunk's invention, the ultimate protection. So I feel like it's just this one. Well, I mean, it might have some of the abilities of, Kuma's Devil Fruits, because because Vegapunk can copy literally Devil Fruits at this point. But, I don't know. I'm just having the feeling well, it might, but I don't know. I just have the feeling that the PX, whatever ability it has, it's a purely scientific. I mean, hey, who knows? I could be completely proven wrong and everything. And with them, essentially being the first line of defense for whatever comes through with that either being, well, I mean, we already do know Kizaru and literally Jay Garcia Saturn is heading towards Egghead Island, they gotta contend with Kizaru. Which, let me ask you, do I think, like, look, do I think this new pacifista, is it strong? Yes, sure. Could it possibly defeat, I don't know, let's just say one of the CP0? I think, there's a good possibility it could defeat one. Maybe if, like, let's just say Lucci woke up and fought all 50 of these pacifistas Mark III. Could, Lucci lose to them? Maybe. Good chance. But could they all defeat Kizaru? Like, no way in hell. No way in hell. Maybe, they'll hold Kizaru back and it'll take some time for Kizaru to, fight against these PXs. But I don't think it's like, Kizaru's losing to these guys. Unfortunately. I just don't think that's what's happening here. But, hey, at least we get to see these new PXs, which actually begs the question, what's the relationship between these new pacifistas, the pacifistas Mark III, and the Seraphims? Because they're both labeled PXs, so I don't know what's up with that. Maybe we'll get that at some point later down the line. And then, let's see. The next thing, okay. You know what? No, I'll talk about that later. But yeah, everyone's splitting up for Vegapunk and everything, which, obviously, okay, I'll save that for later. You know what? Next, I'll just go into Kuma's flashback, okay? Okay. I'll go into Kuma's flashback, which, here, at least just from what we've seen in the context clues, I think what happened was Kuma was a slave. Like, it's kind of obvious he was. I'm pretty sure what I'm getting at is Kuma used to be a slave, not just any slave, a slave to the celestial dragons, especially at the end of the silhouette that we see, looks like one of the celestial dragons and a little bit of Castle Pangea. I think it's very heavily that Kuma could have been a slave at one point. Now, for the questions of, I'm just trying to think. Because really, we don't know much about Kuma. We do know he used to be the, let's see. He used to be a part of the revolutionaries. He also was known as the Tyrant King and everything. And yeah, that's kind of really it that we know of the past of Kuma. And so, I don't know, it's just, I can't really give you, like, a more definitive, like, okay, well, what's this line going to? And especially, I feel like, whenever we get to see more of this flashback, it's probably going to paint, like, a bigger story to why Kuma's climbing the red line, because for the longest, well, not the longest time, but for a while, I thought it's like, oh yeah, Kuma's just trying to get over the red line to go back to Egghead Island, but that might not be it. We might learn something in this flashback to the reason why he's, essentially going back all the way up to the red line, to Castle Pangea. I mean, God, there's just so many possibility and theories and everything. Just, God, I'm really interested in Kuma's flashback. The question is, will we get, like, a whole, like, I don't know, chapter dedicated to the flashback? I don't know. I feel like we'll get bites and pieces, but, nothing substantial, like a full-on flashback of Kuma, like a whole page dedicated to it. Not a whole page, a whole chapter dedicated to it. Maybe. I just don't know if we're going to see that, but I am very interested where this is going and everything, and, especially people are starting to think Bonnie is a freaking clone and everything. So, I don't know. Maybe we'll find out more about that in the future. But, yeah, dude, I'm just really interested whatever the hell happens with, like, the past of Kuma and everything. And starting to build intrigue. And, maybe he learned something from, I doubt maybe Kuma knows something in Castle Pangea. Maybe he's going for something for that. Ooh, that's very interesting. But yeah, after that, we're going back to the whole deal with who is this mysterious intruder who one, blew up freaking Patheragus, and two, closed, our current party locked inside of the what's this place again? God, I can't believe I forgot. Yeah, the Labosphere. Who's this mysterious person who locked them in here? Which okay. Because, I don't know, I feel like for the longest time, people weren't really talking about it. Like, there was the mention of, oh yeah, someone must have closed it, but who? But that was really it for, like, until this chapter, where people just started being like, okay, there's someone important doing this. And honestly, I'm genuinely trying to think who could it be. Because, realistically... Okay. Who knows? Maybe the person who blew up Asparagus could be unrelated to the person hacking everyone in the Labosphere. But I'm trying to think. If they're both the same person, okay, one, they have to be like a really smart person, someone who's familiar with technology and like knows how to hack and everything. And unfortunately, like, I really can't think of anyone it could be other than some of the other punks. Like, I don't know. It could be York, Atlas, Lilith, question mark, maybe? I don't know. Like, those are the only people who I think in the world that are smart enough to, well, possibly hack this goddamn, lock this whole, scientific, space. God. I really can't think of anyone else that it could be unless Aboda, drops like a new character who's like, oh yes, I'm part of the world government, or I'm a secret agent of sort or something. Actually, that might be something interesting they do with, with Sword or something. But it's just, I just can't think of anyone. Or hey, maybe Caribou could secretly be super smart and shit. We don't know. It's just, God, I'm trying to think. Who the heck? I just really can't think of anyone other than, one of the mysterious, maybe possibly one of the Vegapunks, but we'll see with the upcoming chapter or so. I'll just say that much. And then the last thing with the Big News Morgan, which, God, love Big News Morgan. I love him. He's always a trick, because whenever he shows up, he's already changing the world, the field. He's like, oh yeah, you know what? How we make... God, dude, he's literally putting an enemy on Straw Hats already. Well, I don't know if that's going to make people gun for the Straw Hats even more. It's just, he's always there's always something up with them whenever he appears, with this time Vivi being there, which, okay, I'm going to be genuine. My first thought when I saw this, I'm like, wait a minute. Vivi's with Big News Morgan. What? Why? I thought that was my response. I'm like, why? I just don't know. The question is, why is Vivi with Big News Morgan? I don't know. Because, like, okay, I'm looking at what Big News Morgan said. You were bawling her out like a little girl yesterday. So, I don't know if that's supposed to infer that Big News Morgan was flying around and he saw, Vivi just crying or something somewhere. And he's like, oh, come on. I'll help hide you. Don't worry, everything would be chill. Actually, wait a minute. That was just... Okay. Lying her out was yesterday. Okay, this was... It had to be like at least a couple days after Reverie. Okay, I'm turning my head. So, Bonnie definitely... Not Bonnie. Vivi definitely escaped, escaped obviously all the way on top of Marijois and everything. And God, I'm trying to think about this, okay? So the whole story was Vivi was supposedly dead, right? So maybe she probably escaped. I'm trying to think about this, because the feeling I'm getting is that Big News Morgan didn't help Vivi escape from the Reverie. Maybe he had, but it sounds like Vivi just, she did escape and she was somewhere and crying and she had literally like nowhere else to turn to at this point. I mean, she probably could turn back to Alabasta and everything, but God, it's just making my spin turn and everything. And I don't know. I feel like we're getting ever so closer to, well, Vivi rejoining the Straw Hats. And honestly, you know what? I'll just say this much. I don't know if we're getting more like permanent Straw Hats because obviously the Vegapunks are joining the ship. But for our last permanent member on the crew, honestly, I'd be fine with Vivi returning. I would honestly love that. I don't know. I feel like we're ever inching closer to Vivi finally returning to the Straw Hats and everything, and her currently in hiding. And we also got Wapple, who I don't really care about Wapple. I mean, hey, he has to have some importance if they're like, oh yeah, let's keep him still alive and not just randomly in his goddamn was it the Black Drum Kingdom? It was the Evil Black Truck Kingdom. That was a stupid name for a kingdom, but yeah, I don't know. Maybe on some points down the line, but yeah, dude, we got some major players. Big News Morgan already playing. We know Vivi is alive, which we all know, but it just elevates the field of okay. Well, it makes me question what exactly is Vivi going to do. I don't know what exactly. I don't know. I definitely think Vivi's going to join back with the Straw Hats, but so many mysteries. And, I guess this is the moment I would probably be like, oh yeah, what I think's going to happen next chapter? I'm not going to do that just for the sole fact is the next chapter's already out. I could make theories, and I mean, like, I could be making, like, what I thought at the time, but, especially what I know now what happens in the next chapter, I'm just going to keep that stuff kind of separated for now. So, I'll get back to, I'll do that in the next video talking about what I think will happen next chapter. But if you want to see what happens next time, you just have to, see my next chapter review. Hopefully coming soon after this video. Hopefully. God, I have to waste a week for that one. But, yeah, like, no wait, before that, anything else I need to say? Nah, not really. Like, comment, subscribe. I do videos. Watch me on Twitch or whatever. Well, okay, I'll just say this much for Twitch. I haven't been streaming in a little while, but that was because I was getting a new webcam. Got it, and oh my god, dude. I think I'm now streaming in higher quality with this webcam. Screw 720. Now time to finally go into 180. Finally. I mean, obviously I didn't buy a goddamn 4K webcam. Actually, I probably could have got one, but I just got probably why here is actually a pretty good 180 webcam that, most people should use, and it's not too expensive. I got it for like under 100, so it was a good price, I presume. I mean, I don't know too much about webcams, so yeah, I can't wait to start streaming that again. Hopefully, then that also means I'll be going back doing the what was my freaking Let's Play I was doing? Not Let's Play series. I was doing my oh yeah, Pokemon Scarlet Nuzlocke. We'll be getting back to that with a higher quality camera. Yeah, so stay tuned for that, and I don't know, like, comment, subscribe. It's choices up to you, right, Ava? Bye, Ava. But yeah, it's up to you. If you want to do that stuff, you want to just if you plan a comment down below, please be civil. Don't be mean. And also don't spam your stupid goddamn advertisements or bots or whatever. I'm deleting that shit if I see any of that crap. But yeah, just be civil, be nice, and you can interact with your comments. Even if you have a differing opinion what I thought about in this chapter, which I did like this chapter, so yeah. See you guys next time. Dude, okay. I'm not going to lie. I don't really like the end to this recording, but since my camera's about to be death, I think I'll just end it there. So, yeah. See you guys next time, whenever. Bye-bye. Sayonara. I'll just say this. I recently watched Treasure Planet. It's a good movie. Who knew that, Treasure Island but in space is really cool. I'll just say that much. God, dude, one of these days I gotta do like a top 10 Disney film thing because I fucking love Disney.